Alrighty guys, figured I'll show you the rest of the port work. I really opened up that, because right here's what feeds them finger ports in that Mac. Right there's where I cut the timing out for the intake. There's the chamfer. I polished the top of the piston. I don't know what that scale's reading in, but this piston and rod was 272. It's now 264. The crankshaft, where I ground out and cleaned up all that crud that was in here, because they're using this as a partial way to feed up into there. So I figured I'd port that as well, because there was a huge line right here and that stuck up that would just hinder flow. The crank was 938, it's now 935, so I didn't take much off it, but I didn't want to take too much off it and get a bad balance problem. I tapered this wall too to give it a wider point from here to there. This was a big square block. I rounded around, and where I took out material, I really don't think it hurt any. Actually lightening this piston up is probably going to be more beneficial than not lightening up. I think I'm pretty much done working on this until I get parts. I mean, I could probably start on the exhaust, but see all that piston port feeds them fingers. I mean, they get fed a little bit from the crankcase right here, but not much. I don't know what's the right way on doing this. I'm just going by what I'm seeing the design of the engine doing, and instead of bringing them fingers down all the way down into here, I want, after that comes down and shuts that off, whatever's left, I want that to push into the bearings and supply the bearings. But I bet compared to stock to what it is now, I bet these are going to flow 60-65% more up them transfers than what they did originally. I got all the crap out of the way. That's my plan for this one. I don't know if it's right or not. This piston is a little loose in the bore. I was debating on, I'm scared of cracking it. It feels like it's a pretty brittle aluminum. I was thinking about knurling it to swell it up some, to tighten it up some, but I don't know. This might just have to be one of the ones I let a lot of heat get into before rooting on it, so that piston can have time to swell up. And I think this is just a plain cast iron sleeve. There is no plating at all on this. This is just a plain Jane cast iron sleeve. So I know I do things a little unorthodox, but I guess I can slide that in there and show you what that... See how that'll crack. Uh-oh. This piston has some scuffies. This saw has obviously ate debris at one time or another. But it's old, it's vintage. I'll make it work. as soon as my parts come in, I can ring it, bearing it, seal it, and start assembling it, and then get working on the exhaust. I think the exhaust is the next biggest hurdle, because I think everything else is done. So I'll probably end up putting this connecting rod back together on the crank so I don't lose none of them little tiny needle bearings, and tightening that up. And then I'm probably going to box this up till my parts come in, and I'll just putter on something else tomorrow. So kind of curious to see how this thing's going to run. If it does not turn out, it's, I guess, not from lack of effort. I'll say that. I've put a lot of work into this thing, probably way more than I should have. So alright, I've blabbered on here enough. You guys have a good one. Enjoy your night.